Hi, I'm Miriam Thomas, and I will be interviewing Ms. Blair McGhee, who is an English teacher here at Ed.D. Ninth Grade School, and this is for her Library Services Programs class. And my first question to you, Ms. McGhee, is what can the library do to help support the curriculum of the school?
The one thing that I see that my students struggle with are actually just using the computer for something other than YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. So a lot of my students don't know how to create documents on Word or Excel. They don't know how to type. They don't know how to use it resourcefully. So they struggle with research and things like that. So the LMC can definitely help with showing them things, especially with research, finding reputable websites and things like that to go to.
Okay. And any other parts of the curriculum in addition to research? I know typically I look at the English, the syllabus that you have for each 9 weeks now, and try to do lessons for those, for things that you might be doing like poetry or whatever the situation. So is that helpful to you, or are there other things where things can be refocused, other areas?
There are things I think that are enrichment based. A lot of students even struggle finding books that that they are interested in. So let's say we have a young man who's a big soccer fan. In class, I try to get him to take that one step further and say, okay, now find a book that has to do with soccer that you might be interested in reading. And a lot of them go to the library and get overwhelmed and don't know how to find those things.
Okay, so just more lessons in how to find books and how to find the book that's best for you. Because when you have 10,000, 12,000 books, it can be overwhelming, and the system, I understand that the system of finding the Dewey system, it can be overwhelming for young students. And sometimes I think we take things for granted that they may know, but especially I think if we're getting students, new students coming from other countries, we have to think about that as well. Okay, so that's something we can work on. And are there any particular programs that you would like to see the library add for next year, other than the enrichment and the focusing more on research? Are there any other types of programs or activities that the library can incorporate?
Not off the top of my head, not I would say any specific programs, but just definitely partnering with the teachers. So maybe we could use the LMC for more enrichment based assignments, whereas we would introduce it in class, and then they could be sent to the LMC to get that specific help. So like maybe bringing research again, we kind of touch on works cited, but maybe we can send them down to do a full lesson on works cited.
Okay.
And that way they can get that one-on-one. Whereas in the classroom, it's going to be me trying to touch 30 different kids.
Right. And that's a good point to be able to use. One of the things I do want to do for next year is how can I help more? What are some things that is with co-teaching and collaboration that I can do? Which kind of brings me to my next question. As far as collaboration and co-teaching, being able to do these things, do you see any barriers to that right now?
No, when we are able, yes, the biggest barrier we have is actually being able to get that time reserved. Especially when you have 10 English teachers who kind of do the same thing at the same time. If there is a lesson that we all happen to be working on at the same time that requires us to be in the LMC, we kind of have to fight for those days.
Right.
So that's the only, I think, problem that we have. But once we're in there, you're really good about asking us what we need and trying to kind of help us get the lesson taught.
Okay. Well, just anything else you'd like to add at this time as far as about the library, resources, just helping teachers, anything else that we can plan for down the road?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, I'm here to try to help as far as resources, and I always want to get the input, especially from the English teachers, all teachers, but English is kind of the base. So, okay. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, and we'll see what we can incorporate these things next year.
All right, thank you.